Hi there, welcome to this podcast. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com, and this video is about Ganesh or Ganpati. Who is Ganesh or Ganpati? Do you know? Well, let me introduce you to him, but before I begin, I want to start by chanting his Gayatri mantra. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Buddhi Prachodayat. Okay, he is known by many names. One of them is Siddhivinayak. One of them, he has many names, right? So let's get into understanding Ganpati. The first thing you need to understand when you look at Ganpati is that Ganpati is offered prayers to before any other deity in Hinduism. And that is because Ganpati is the initiation or startup energy of the cosmos, okay? And Ganesha is basically a gana or a cosmic rule that governs all of existence, okay? All of existence, from the tiniest quark to the largest galaxy cluster. Okay, it's a very ancient idea, Ganpati, and he's been worshipped. A prototype of Ganesh was worshipped in the subcontinent, outside the subcontinent, as well as inside. Afghanistan, Tibet, Mongolia, China, Java, Iran, Cambodia, Borneo, Japan, Mexico, even in Iran. So all of this, and they date back to 1200 BC, 1000 BC, even Mexico. So this is a very ancient energy. And Ganpati has a very stark, grotesque appearance to remind you that nothing is real. The symbol is, his grotesque appearance reminds you that appearances are illusory and truth is never what you think it is, right? Now, his companion is a mouse, and this signifies that he has mastery over fear, indecision, anxiety, uncertainty. And he also controls subterranean worlds, right? His protruding belly is not because he's a couch potato. It is a symbol of contentment, right? So I told you about the myth of Ganpati, how Shiva and Parvati were basically making love, and certain little bits of dirt from her body, like basically her skin. She shed her skin, and that dirt and that skin creates a beautiful little boy. And now this little boy, or this little Ganpati, is her god, and he guards the door while she bathes, okay? Now she tells Ganpati that do not let anybody in. So even when Shiva comes, Ganpati refuses to let him pass. So having said that, Shiva is very pissed, right? And in one of the stories is Shani, who looks at him and his head blows off. And in some of the stories, it's like Shiva actually, decimates his head. And then he, basically looking at Parvati breaking down, he asks his chelas to find him a head. But the head must be from someone who's sleeping with their head to the north. So this is why they found the elephant, because in India nobody sleeps with their head to the north. It is inauspicious. So what happens is Shiva puts back this elephant head on the headless torso, and we've got Ganpati, right? As ridiculous as this sounds, it is not to be taken literally. It's an allegorical tale. It's a memory code system. I mean, that's what the Puranas are. They teach us by elucidation and exposition through oral traditions. Okay, they're not to be written down. They are memory code systems which are revealed to the initiate, right? Now, the residue or the dead skin, I think it speaks of some kind of attachment, and the goddess principle or Shakti can become attached to subtle energies because she's a mother, and immediately we think of Cancer, right? And how Cancer attaches herself to the whole process of mothering. So basically, this excessive need to mother and this unhealthy attachment is why he destroyed Ganpati, or he recreated Ganpati with this grotesque appearance. Remember, Shiva is silence, and Shiva is passive. Shakti is the active principle. So Shiva is the ultimate yogi, and he destroys every single unhealthy attachment, right? He basically transforms residual energy. So the head is also the ego, right? It is a symbol of the ego. Krishna says the head is the root, and he uses a trident. Okay, Krishna uses a trident. Shiva also uses a trident. Poseidon or Neptune also uses a trident. Trident is the sattva, the rajas, and the tamas, the three gunas or the three nadis, the ida, the pingala, and the sushumna, right? So what are gunas? Gunas is, depending on the context, means string, thread, or strand, or virtue, merit, excellence, or quality, peculiarity, attribute, property. So, we know the sattva is goodness, rajas is passion, and tamas is darkness. Sattva can be constructive, harmonious. Rajas is active, but it can be confused. Tamas can be destructive and very chaotic. Okay, now what you have to see that we have to gain control of our desires. We have to gain control of the three gunas and transcend it, right? So Shiva has to resurrect Ganesha, because Ganesha is the pure consciousness without the animalistic aid, the Freudian aid, or the ego, right? So when you think of Shiva Shakti, think of them as nadis within. I've discussed this in my videos, nadis and planets. So Shiva is logical and Parvati is emotional, the internal Parvati and Shiva. So there has to be a balance here. There has to be the hieros gamos, the sacred union between logic and emotion, right? Also remember, the dirt that he was created from is probably Maya, right? So Ganesha rules the Muladhara chakra, right? And he refuses Shiva to meet Parvati. Shiva is a symbol of the yogi, and Parvati is pure Kundalini Shakti. So basically, if you do not master the Muladhara chakra, you will not have your Kundalini ascend to the Sahasrara or the crown chakra. Okay? You have to master the Muladhara to gain control over the three nadis, Ida, Pingala, and actually bring the prana and apana from the Ida and Pingala to Sushumna, right? So Shiva destroys the ego, which is the symbol of the head, and replaces it with wisdom. Okay, and the minute he replaces it with wisdom, the union of Shiva and Shakti can take place, and the Kundalini awakens the higher gamos, the yabyum. Okay, now elephant has many symbols like awareness, mindfulness, memory, patience. Of course, science has corroborated all of this, so this is not just the ancient teachings. So allow Ganpati to be the supreme intelligence that is Ganpati. Allow him to be your guiding force today, this Saturday, the 23rd of August 2020 is coronavirus. The pandemic rages outside. Allow Ganpati to be your guiding force. Okay, so interestingly, I discovered this very interesting piece of news that there is a scientist from Lebanon who used sonic mapping, and that sonic mapping caught vibrational frequencies of the brain, and he discovered that these images, once assimilated, they looked like Ganesha, right? This image looked like a being with two huge ears, a trunk and tusks. Now you see how the medulla oblongata connects to Ganpati. So think of Ganpati as a grid keeper with spiritual wisdom. Think of him as a remover of all obstacles. Call upon him as Vigna Vinayak, because remember, he will destroy all the obstacles. Think of him as giving you the key to the Muladhara chakra, or the key to your Kundalini Shakti. Initiate yourself in this very powerful Ganpati invocation that is taking place on this beautiful day of Saturday, on Saturn's day, as I make this video. Thank you very much, and speak soon.